Welcome to the Tall Girl Tuesday podcast. It's your girl, Danie. And I have a very, very special guest this week. It is the Cortney V from the Barbie Way Podcast.
Hey,
Hey,
thanks for
girl.
having me, girl.
Thanks for being here. This has been a long time coming. So
It
let's,
has.
let's tell the people what we're drinking. We're both on the same wave.
We actually are. I'm new to it, but this is Danny's thing right here. This Jack Daniels, honey to be exact.
That's right. How you like it? You like it?
It's good to me, but it's kind of sweet. I feel like I want to try another flavor. Which one do you think I should? I don't really like anything sweet.
Definitely try the Fire next. If you want to stick with the Jack
Is
Daniels.
it giving Fireball vibes? Because I don't like Fireball.
Okay, then you're not gonna like that. They have a
Or
winter.
a winter.
They have like a winter cider. It's really good.
I gotta try it. I'm all new to the whiskey side, so I'm just trying to try it. But I had some recently. It was good, so I
Love
want it.
brown girl, brown liquor.
Period.
I tell people. All right.
Hold on. What do you think Henny is?
What, a cognac? Oh,
Is
I
it
drink Hennessy.
okay? Just for the record, just had to see.
You're gonna get some flack in the chat for that, but whatever. We said what we said. Okay.
He said.
All right. So let's get into it. So you have an episode on your podcast that is called My Preference, My Prerogative. And that is the one that really, really struck a chord with me because I was like, sis is spitting some stuff that I can relate to and agree with.
Yes. I love that episode too. And I'm not surprised that you can resonate with it because you kind of come off, and from what I know, just like liberated, kind of free spirit. You're going to do what you want to do, and you don't really give a fuck what anyone has to say.
That's it. We
So
all be that way. Don't you agree?
I think so. I think life could be so much better that way if women just did what they wanted to do and not care about judging.
Absolutely. So before we get into that, tell the people about you, the podcast, all of that jazz.
Yes. So, as Danie already stated, I'm the host of the Barbie Way Podcast. I'm actually dropping season 2 within the next 2 weeks in January. And my podcast is more so like it's things that I can relate to, things that I see generally, and then I bring it to the forefront. And I'm pretty versatile. Like Danie said, I got an episode of Prerogative, my preference, but I also have I feel like educational, informative episodes too. So yeah, I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So yeah.
Absolutely. We'll make sure to plug all of that stuff and how to find her.
Period.
So let's get right into it. My preference, my prerogative. That's the one for me. I said this
is the one
show. I said this is the show because a lot of stuff resonated with me, and I think we know each other well enough to know we kind of have similar opinions about things. But when you really sit there and listen to someone break it down, it's
right.
like you dropping gems, like dropping some gems.
I think so, girl.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about. You were saying how you used the word taboo, and I thought that was a good word choice to use for the things that were discussed. So what do you consider like the things that are taboo and why in terms of sexuality and freedom and
I feel like just sex in general, like if you talk to different people, it could be taboo because one person might say, this is so disgusting, I won't do no shit like that. But in their, like, sex is different, has a different definition for everyone. Yes, we know it means the penis is entering the vagina kind of sex. We get that part. But like sex for other people might be like some crazy, exotic, crazy, like toys and rope and everything. And to me, I might find that crazy, but to them, that is sex. So it's like, it all has its own definition.
I agree.
Depending on who you ask.
Absolutely. So why do you think there's such a taboo or weird stigma towards people who are sexual beings and, you know, in tune with their sexuality?
I think it's society, mainstream media. It's like in this society, is like if you didn't post it, then it didn't happen. So like people are trying to like align their sex life with what they see on social media. And that's where you fuck up at, because you're not doing it because you really want to try, you really want to do it. You're doing because you think the next bitch is doing it. I'm sorry, Kat, I didn't mean to curse.
Girl, you can say whatever you want to.
I said what the fuck I said. No. But I think that's what it is. And I think it's just double standards because, for instance, I just seen a post. I'm not sure if you know the rapper NBA Youngboy. 7 baby mothers, and he's only 21. And I feel like other people will look at him like, dang, nigga, like you getting it, but like, say if a woman did that. You know, like it's just always gonna be this double standard thing with just sexuality in general, even for the LGBT community. Like it's just not even, it's everything, everyone. That's my take on it.
That's good. That's interesting. It's weird, like how even still today in 2021, these roles and responsibilities that they put on gender is like before we get past that point where it's like people are beings and people should be doing what's best for them.
Yeah, I agree. Don't you think though, like growing up, possibly everybody, or I feel like mostly like teenage girls to like, I don't know, even my age people, they want the whole ideal of like the family, the kids, the husband, the dog, and the house. And it's like people have that and still be fucking miserable. So it's like, I just don't think they know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't even know what I want, but I know what I don't want.
Okay, well that's half the battle right there.
Right.
But yeah, we've all been conditioned from the, not really like the ancestors, but you know, the matriarchs and the patriarchs of the family to
Very true.
be a certain way, even down to how you dress. And it's like, but if I don't want to wear that, I don't like that, why do I have to wear it? Or if I don't want to have a husband, 2 kids, and a white picket fence, why does society make me feel like I'm less than as a woman because I don't strive to have these things in my life?
Right, because it's goals for others, but to like even people like me and you, like that doesn't really excite. Like it's a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong, but it's not like my end goal. Like no, there's so much more than being married.
Right.
My
Absolutely.
opinion.
And you have women who literally, that's their whole focus in life, is to be someone's wife and spouse and give them these kids. But it's like, what are you doing for you? So you kind of go through life like having these weird bouts where you're depressed, you're sad, you're just not real, like can't figure yourself out. It's because you're punishing yourself for the things that you really want.
I think a lot has to do with that is that they never got to experience themselves before being a mother. So like that's why so many women come off and say I'm a mother first. And like, yeah, it's just a nice analogy to say, but in reality, that is what it is. Like you are just a mother first because you never got to experience you alone, like, or how you move, how you act, who you are. And that's why a lot of the times I know women personally that have kids that are like, 8, 9 years old, and they're like, yo, I just wish I could do more. Like, I wish I could have done this or could have done that. Or you even have the people that be like, don't have kids, just it ain't even worth it. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
And then sometimes they put that negative narrative on the children, and then they're toxic and like missing out on stuff because this condition that their parents have embedded in them.
Their
Like,
parents look at them like a chore. Like,
right.
I gotta take care of you. Like, a low key off topic, but I hate parents that be like, I'm like want like credit for doing the things that you're supposed to do as a parent. Like, good job, you feed your kid every day. That's what you're supposed to do. Or I do everything for my kid. I do for my one thing. I'm about this mother life. I forgot the post I seen. You know, Twitter's kind of crazy, but it's just like, that's what you're supposed to do. But
that is your obligation as an adult to care
it's
for.
not asked to be here.
Conceived. Weird, but girl, we could talk about that all day.
That's another,
yeah. I wanted to know, like, in terms of, so based off of the things that I've listened to you talk about in that episode, I curated a couple things that I needed further, not really clarity on, but, you know, I just wanted to dig a little bit deeper on. Okay. So the first one was, like, how important is it for you to be open and honest about your sexuality and preferences when dating, like in the dating stage?
See, the thing is, I'm not even in the dating stage thing. But I guess, okay, so hypothetically speaking, only because it sucks, okay, for one. But I think I would make my preference very clear, or I wouldn't go after or entertain, I should say, something that I know wouldn't go far, like, or just be worth my time.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, the dating, I mean, I feel like it's good to be transparent and things like that, but I don't know. I got to fill out the vibe first. I got to see what's going on before I put my whole shit out there. Like, this is what I like.
So, like, once you decide, like, you get to that point where it's like, okay, I can actually stand this person. I would like to potentially build something with them. Is it at that point where you're like, okay, let's get certain things out about what we like and don't like from everything under the sun, but mainly in terms
right, like, how big are you talking? Like, I don't like apple pie, or I don't like when you
right. No, so in terms of like this particular episode specifically, I think the questions are more geared towards sexual preferences and things that you like and dislike in that realm of a relationship.
That kind of thing. No, I hear you. I follow. So I think see, the thing is, I've never really I have communicated when it's probably involving like another girl, because I feel like, is it me that, like, I'd be feeling like I shouldn't just assume that this is okay, because it's just coming from, you know, like, if that's my man or if that's the guy I'm dating. But I would say that, and I wouldn't want him to feel like, oh, now, you know, now it's threesomes all the time or something like that. Like, no, I'm just letting you know that's something that I'm into or something. Like, I mean, but as far as like positions and like things I like, I feel like it's a time, like, it will go down like that. Like, I don't see any guy saying like, nah, you going too far. I mean, I'm not jumping from ceiling to ceiling. Like, I'm not doing anything crazy.
Okay. So I asked that because for me, so once I get to the point where I decide, like, okay, this is somebody I'm going to actually put the effort into building something with, I'm having all the important conversations. Like, it might be a month in, and I'm saying, listen, these are the things I want. Just like you said, the whole threesome thing. One of my questions when I first, not really first meet a guy, but when I first meet a guy, I'm going to take you serious, is how do you feel about that? Because if you're not on board with at least the possibility of it happening and within what we have, then I can't. There's no need for me to proceed.
Really? That's literally, so is that considered a deal breaker for you?
It is, unless I get to a point where I've had it done before I've met that person. I might not be as pressed. But if I'm coming into a situation still a threesome version.
But even if he was polite and intelligent and chocolate and tall and fine and dating and this month, and he's just like, nah, I want you to myself, you're still gonna say, But then would you cheat?
So in that case, is it cheating if we're not exclusive? Because I'm going to explain to you at that point,
right?
This is something that I want to do. So if you feel like this is something that I need to take care of before I commit, then it's going to happen. So just be prepared with or without you.
So he's not stopping nothing is what you're saying.
No, he might be stopping his potential, but for me, no.
I respect that. A woman who knows what she wants.
Absolutely.
So you don't consider yourself indecisive?
No, not with things like that. No. When it comes to my sexuality and the things that I want, no.
Okay.
There's no questions there.
You said what you said.
I said what I said. I want what I want.
Is the whiskey getting to you, Danie?
No, why?
Your eyes are just looking like very dreamy-ish.
Oh, I thought they look like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Don't be flirting with me.
So yeah, that's my whole thing. I'm upfront. I gotta know, like.
That's respected. I feel like you should. You waste less time that way.
I agree. I have no time to waste.
At all.
No time to waste. Because when it comes to certain things like that with sexual things that you want, it's like that itch that you want to scratch, and it just intensifies. It doesn't go away. So I don't have time to be like.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
So, how long can you go out with being sexually active as far as getting penetrated? Because we all know a female you can please yourself, but if you're finding or coming across, hypothetically speaking, guys who are not really matching your sex drive, that simple. Everything else seems to be good, but they're just not matching that. How long could you just go without that?
So for me, I feel like as long as I can get what I need to get, whether it be with the guy or not, I'm good. Like, I have an addictive personality, and I explain that to people all the time. So that means I either want it all the time or I don't want it at all. There's no in between.
Oh my God.
So with that being said, if I'm getting it on a Monday and Tuesday come around and I ain't getting it, I'm gonna take care of myself if I have to. So I don't think it has to be the actual the penetration part. I just think it's like I need to relieve myself by any means. But then I can also go to the other extreme where it's like I can go months or whatever, and it's like I ain't in the mood. But that's usually not when I'm like with someone. That's usually when it's just.
I'm about to say, because you didn't hit year, you said just months. Exactly. I mean, how long have you gone without any?
I don't think the longest I probably ever went without having like sex with a guy, you mean?
Yes.
Probably like 4 months.
Oh my God, Danie, that is nothing.
I know.
I mean, my choice though, so it's cool. Like,
yeah, because at that point, I might just be calling a random, like, listen, we know what this is about. You know what we're here for. But that's the problem that I'm having. That's again if I'm just me out here not dating anybody or with anybody. So
I mean, but that's part of what you're supposed to do. If it's not like anything official or exclusive, then I don't feel like there's any wrong with dating a few people at the same time or just getting to know people at the same time, because it's like you're technically single. I mean, you're single until you file taxes together, okay?
Oh, y'all heard that. Y'all see her thoughts on that one. What about you? What's the longest that you've been without?
It's happening currently. It's almost 10 months. Yeah, anything. Like any sexual male pleasure has been since last March. So yeah, that is my struggle. But I can say the longer that I have been without it, it doesn't make me feel like Like I could care less for it now
Mm-hmm.
because I go so long without it. But yes, I have my urges like everyone else and stuff like that. But I don't want meaningless sex. I don't want like the booty call sex.
Okay. That's,
And if it's not nasty enough, I definitely don't want it. And I don't want to tell no nigga how to do what to do. If you don't know how to do it, then I don't even want, like, I'm just done. I'm turned off already.
that was one of my questions. Like, are you someone who wants to teach a guy, or what are you willing to teach a guy?
No, I really don't want to.
Okay.
I don't, because you know it's attractive, like an alpha type of man. That's attractive because I'm expecting you to lead.
Absolutely.
But if I gotta tell you and show you, and I mean, what are you like? No, get on my face.
All right.
Can't do this.
Nah, I definitely get it. That's interesting. Hope y'all out here taking notes and paying attention because you might learn something today.
Listen, from
But
the both of us, because you don't. We see what you said.
I hope the people listening don't listen too hard though, because I ain't checking for none of y'all. But you know. But yeah. So in addition to that, like, how important do you think it is to be open and honest about those types of things, like in dating and relationships? And because you know there are some women out here who literally just settle for mediocre penis, and like, how do you, sis, like, you deserve.
No, I know. And you know what I think it is, Danie? It's the money. So a woman will deal with the man with the small dick. I mean, microscopic, pinky. They will deal with a little ass dick like that because he pays the bills. He take care of the home. He's a good father. Why would I let another bitch have him? That's how they think. Versus a bitch like me, I'm gonna cheat on you. So I'll leave. Because I feel like sex in 100% of a relationship is like 70% important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't always have to be penetration sex, like I said initially. Intimacy, all that stuff. All that matters, that's 70% worth it. And I'm a Pisces, I'm heavy on that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't even do that, it's like, oh, I'm bored now.
Right. Okay. I feel like in the bedroom, that is the one place a couple, I'm not even going to say just a man and a woman, a couple should just be uninhibited and just free.
I mean, how free is free though? So what is that last step before you fucking wildin'? What's that free?
What do you mean though? Like,
so if you're in the bedroom and you're saying basically nothing is off limits, right? Both of our satisfaction matter. So there's nothing that you wouldn't do. There's nothing that you would cut. That's what I'm saying. Like, stop it. Like, bitch, you're wilding now. Like, we're not doing that. Or no judgment. Or are you saying, no, yeah, like if that is who I'm with, you know, at the time, whatever, I'm doing everything.
Okay.
Your pleasure and my pleasure.
So for me, that ties back into the whole thing I was saying, like how I get things out the way in the beginning. So my significant other is already going to know what's off limits and what's not. And when I tell you, the list is, the things that are off limits for me is here.
Are you going to share one? Because I want to know. Or are you going to send me that damn list?
I can send you the list. I might let the podcast people they might have to sit on that for a while. But
I'm just curious.
There is very few things that are off limits for me. So the person I'm with will know that already. So by the time we start getting down and spicy, they already know the very few things that
There's no surprises when it comes down to it.
None.
Well, that sounds lit. I mean,
Yeah.
now, are there men out here or that you've come across that are meeting this criteria as far as the sexual thing? Or is that too much info? I don't know.
Not at all. They are. I feel like I'm not gonna say all of them. Not saying that I'm doing them all, but
Right.
I'll say as of as of late, yeah, because it's a beautiful thing when you meet someone who's like-minded and who's open-minded and just with the shits. So that's how it is. I'm fortunate in that sense that I don't have to worry about holding back anything. I'll say that.
Right. You can be yourself completely and
He can be himself.
okay.
Or
Well,
she.
shout out to y'all because
Or she. You never know.
what you said?
I said, or she. You never know.
You never know.
You never
You never
know.
know. But at least, Danie, one of us is getting that, is fortunate to have that kind of pleasure in their life. I can live vicariously through you.
Well, when it happens for you, I hope you're ready.
Oh, I'll be ready.
I just hope you're prepared because it's like, now or never. Now or never.
Now or never. It's 2021. Like,
Mm-hmm.
listen.
Do you feel like there's any awkwardness in terms of having conversations with men about your sexuality?
No, not really. I feel like I get awkward when I feel like a sense of judgment, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably just be like, I'm gonna head out. Or just not even entertain the conversation anymore because I've probably gone too far of what you consider freaky. So, but
Damn.
that has not happened. I mean, a lot of dudes that I have came across are definitely with the shits.
Okay.
No complaints on that side.
That's what we like.
Okay. No complaints. Reviews 5-star. Those are the kind of things that we like.
Okay. I feel like most men, for the most part, who aren't considered like reserved, are pretty much open-minded. But again, that's what I'm saying to tie everything in. Is like I feel like you have to discuss these things immediately because
You won't get what you want. So do you think that the guys that aren't so reserved could be considered alpha, dominant kind of men?
the guys who are open-minded are definitely alpha men.
I must be living in the wrong fucking state.
Really? Maybe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's literally dope though. I just like that whole idea. That they can be not reserved, but also dominant, open-minded.
That's not your experience. That's not what you've been.
But I want it. So
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I don't know sometimes I don't be knowing what I want, but I know what I don't want.
It's there.
I don't want somebody who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm. But you feel like the more reserved guys are the guys who are what? Like
What, you're saying like the opposite of that?
yeah, so you think the guys who are more reserved are the alpha guys?
No.
Okay.
No, I feel like the guys who are reserved are less of that because insecurities possibly.
Insecurities, this whole narrative that a man should be a certain way and
Yeah, all that. That's a whole different topic too, but I mean, it's true though, and it's out here. So that happens where your man may just want the basic missionary backshot sex, and that's enough for him.
That was on a movie. What was the name of that movie? Well, it was a lot going on with that movie too. With Journey Smollett. And she dated the black guy. She was married to her husband, and he was very just like reserved and like cornballish. And then she met the black guy, but he ended up having AIDS. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, that Tyler Perry movie.
The Tyler Perry movie. That's kind of how it was, because like you got to scratch that itch at some point. Like
I think, yeah,
to a point where you're like, I need this release.
Yes, and I feel like I don't even want.
Giving it.
Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I was saying, and if your husband or your significant other is not providing that to you,
you're gonna want to find it somewhere else. No, I so agree. I hated the way that went. I mean, she did. Obviously, they dramatized the storyline and the plot of it, but I felt where sis was coming from. Like, she was trying to get her freak on, and her nigga was just acting very. And that's why I feel like women kind of cheat differently. You know, they needed something released, like you said. Men cheat just because it's the fat ass.
It's because it's a Tuesday, like.
Right. And I get off of work at 2, and I gotta be.
This random, unnecessary stuff. I mean, it do really be more emotional, but it's like, if you get to that point where you're telling your spouse, like, I need the rugged, raw, throw me against the wall, let's have it sex in random places, and you're not getting that, sis, you are a glutton for punishment. Like, you just.
Listen, I mean, what do you have to say if you have listeners who are not getting this? But what are they supposed to do?
I don't know.
What are they supposed to do?
I don't
know. Read a Kama Sutra book, read a sex book, and stimulate your mind, son. Manifest that. Right. Manifest that kind of guy. I don't know either, because I know they're out there. I'm just not. I mean, because of course, yes, I could call up, double back. But I promised myself 2021, I'm not doubling back. You had it back then, you will never get it again. That's the part.
Stick to your guns.
Those are my guns. It's just not worth it.
If you listening to this and you from the past, she ain't coming back to you. So
at all. Hang it up, flat screen.
Your shot will not be shot. You cannot shoot your shot there.
Nope.
So, moving on to the next question. I want to know, like, is your private space or bedroom, intimate space, like a judgment-free type of zone?
What do you mean judgment-free? Like, the way it's the decor of my bedroom, or?
Not the decor. Well, just like the things that go down, like, I know some people are into like swings and toys and
yes,
and a whole bunch of things that just set the scene. So I'm just wondering, like, are you someone who
sets the scene?
Set the scene, but also like once your guy or girl or whoever you decide to be intimate with comes into your personal space, is it like, okay, we know what we're here for, everything is off the table, let's just
get down? Yeah, I feel like they would know that even prior to coming to my house, because that's the thing, right? Like, not too many people know where I live at. I don't like random company or just sporadic like pop-ups. Don't do that. So, I mean, if you're coming here and you know what time it is, then you know what time it is. We don't have to make it to the bedroom for you to know what time it is.
Okay.
You know what time it is.
Okay. Now, are you someone who initiates sex?
So, yes and no. Mm-hmm. I feel like once the ball gets rolling, you know what I mean? Like, as far as, no, I'm not initiating, but I feel like I'm more of the relay race. Like, once you start going and you pass me, like, is my turn, or I know you're into it, I can tell, then I feel like I get more dominant in a way.
Okay.
I can come off that way. Possibly with girls, like with females too, that way.
So you're
At
more.
first, it used to be hard to initiate with females because it was like awkward, but I don't know. A shot of whiskey would help.
Okay. That's one out. So you feel like with women you can be more aggressive, or you can initiate more with a
It
woman?
depends who I'm dealing with. For
Mhm.
one, I haven't messed around with, like, I can count how many girls I've, messed with. So it's been like, it was both the same how we were coming. It was like, I wasn't messing with somebody who was like a OG in this gay life, or, you know what I mean? It felt both very much femme kind of vibe.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I'm not like the nigga of the I'm not what do they call them? I don't even know the proper name.
I don't know.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. You're not the more dominant one.
Yeah, like I'm not like dominant like that, but I can be accordingly at the right time.
Okay. Learning, taking notes. That's interesting. And it's
Listen,
funny
I feel
because
like this is a dating resume.
word. And people, like, even in our group, we have our group of friends. Shout out to the chat. If you know, you know.
We love it here.
Yes. And they make fun of me because they're like, oh, you don't really do nothing. You haven't. And I'm like, the opportunity is never really right. It's either like girls, I've been meeting women who are not really into men right now. And that's like, I've never wanted to be in a situation where I'm just one on one with a woman, per se.
I so feel you, Danie. Oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
you like them, but you don't think that you can have a serious
Right.
relationship.
Right. So my presentation is, okay, you coming at me this way, but you got to know this is a package over here. It's not just me. And they're like, I ain't really with the penis right now. And I'm like, well, it's nothing I can really do for you or you can do for me because
It's just not, you're not giving me what I want.
we're not there. We're in two different spaces right now.
I mean, I think that happens. I don't like, what do they call, pillow princesses?
Yeah.
Girls that think that they think, or they know that you like girls, and they think like, okay, we get together, she's just gonna satisfy me. Or you hear girls sometimes like, I'm gonna just mess with a gay girl so she could eat my, or I'm gonna mess with her so she could trick on me. I've heard them both. So
no,
that's not over here. No.
If you come into the to the casa, you have to be putting out. Okay, everybody's gonna be putting out. Ain't gonna be no pillow princesses on this end.
Okay, touch the bottle kind of thing. Everybody's in it. Everybody.
Touch the bottle. I had an episode with one of my cousins, and she was saying like if she was ever in a situation where there was a threesome with her guy and herself and another woman, she would be a pillow princess. And I was like, what is the point?
What is the point?
Who's getting what out of that?
Yeah, that wouldn't be, even if he was doing what he had to do, no, I want you to do it too. It just wouldn't work. But ideally, and this may sound crazy, I feel like that's what I want in a relationship. I want both.
What do you mean, both in terms of what?
Well, no, I don't. Like, I meant both as like female and male. Like, I want a boyfriend and a girlfriend. But I would want it to be like, I had a boyfriend first and he knows this is what's up.
Okay. That's
something like that.
I don't think I would go so far as having a girlfriend, but definitely somebody that we can call when we ready to jump some things off. Definitely.
Right. Right. And I have been involved in a couple of those. So I know what you mean.
Were they successful?
Oh yeah. And it was like happening twice a year. I'm like the rare bitch.
Uh-huh.
Not always available, accessible, but it did happen. And the guy kept coming for me. And it was just getting awkward. So it was just like, I'm all set. But it was wild. It was crazy. It was fun, I can say. It was for a good time.
We're here for a good time. Not a long time.
How do you even have that conversation with a girl that you're probably talking to who seems like she's only interested in getting to know you? And then while you guys are exchanging info, you're like, hey, by the way, what is their reaction? Because I would have been like, damn, so I'm just the extra bitch now? Like,
well, that's interesting.
how do you not make them feel that way? Because let me tell you, you know when you are. Coming from people who have asked me, like couples have definitely, my wife said you this. Okay, I didn't ask.
Right. So my experience with that has been like I met a girl through a mutual friend, but the mutual friend left out some very pertinent details when explaining to the girl how I'm coming. So we exchanged numbers, we talked a few times, and it got to the point where she was telling me like I was kind of distant. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure what you expected or what the intent was behind this meeting, but just so you know, the only type of situation that I'm interested in right now is with my guy. So there will never be
after or before you guys had like messed around.
We didn't mess around at all. We were just trying to get to know each other. She was in a space where she's bisexual. And then the mutual friend knew what type of time I was on, but she didn't relay that information to her. So we exchanged.
Oh, so it was like a misunderstanding.
It was a misunderstanding. We both had to be honest and like, listen, this is what I'm looking for. And she was like, I'm not really in the space where I need a distraction from men. Like she didn't want anything to do with men at all. And I'm like, I can't give that to you right now. I'm sorry, but.
So have you messed with a girl one-on-one before, excluding men?
Never.
Danie, get out of here, okay? I am done with you.
No. Mm-mm.
So how do you know that you're going to be ready for the takedown if you get a girl who will take it down?
Because my intent is not to date or court or build with this woman.
But have you came across a woman, even with your dude, who has really, really sexually satisfied you? Like OD.
What do you mean have I came across a woman?
Like if you and your partner, gets a girl and you guys do the do, you have your threesome and she really satisfy you. Has that happened?
No.
Like has a female satisfy you like OD?
No.
Or no?
No. It hasn't happened for me yet. So that's the thing.
Okay, I like the yet part.
It hasn't happened. I'm still the person who's talking about it.
How do you know you're even ready for that?
For what? I am listen.
Things are so much more sensual and like it's not like a man. It's really much more like intimate in a way because you have what I have. So I'm admiring what you have that's on me too, but on your body. Like it's so much different than just men.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I have. So that's why I'm asking. I have with, another guy and I have with by myself.
See, I haven't. And I have no intentions on just being one-on-one with a woman.
That's because you're going to be awkward. She gonna touch you on your leg, like, so you ready? And you gonna be like, stop.
But I feel like, so it's interesting because this comes up a lot, and I'm like, once I get to that space where I actually find a woman who's down for the type of time that I'm on, I plan to be the dominant one. Like, I just need you to just, I think you're on mute.
You do come off dominant, I can say.
Everybody
I
tells
don't
me
think
that.
dominant is the word. I just feel like, what's another synonym for bold? I can't say right now.
Bold. Bold.
Yeah, you're bold. Like, your presence is bold. You know when you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be very much shown in the bedroom a lot.
That's the plan.
Let me get some more whiskey, because
That is the plan. So I just need someone to be on board with that, and then we can proceed with what we're trying to do here and accomplish. But as long as she knows there's not a one-on-one type of situation, then we good. Because you figure I've already prepared my significant other as much as I needed to. You know the do's and don'ts already. And should he have any, it's already set. And then we just gonna wild out from there. Like,
I mean, I wonder what that would look like. I would like to just be, the thing on the wall that just watches stuff.
Oh, you just want to be on the wall.
Just to see what's going on, how things are. I like to observe. I'm a watcher.
Me too.
Are you? You are with them eyes. I don't know.
Why do people always say things like that?
Your eyes are super, like, lusty-ish.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. And the red lips, too. Come on now.
It's the whole vibe. We're working on it, But, yeah, so my preference, my prerogative. I really loved the title. I was hooked. And I was excited to. I listened to that episode more than once, honestly.
Really, Danie?
Oh, yeah. I like to study things, and sometimes you miss stuff the first time around.
You're absolutely right. That's why people watch movies more than once and stuff. You do catch something that you didn't catch, but I appreciate that. And I'm really, like, sexually liberated. I enjoy talking about sex, and I feel like I've always been that girl. Unfortunately, since Hill House, like I mean, damn, I said it like you knew my high school. Since high school, like, I just enjoy, like, talking about different shit, like, about sex. Like, oh, so would you try this, and what's this about? Curious as fuck. Curious.
I like that. That makes for the best type of experience.
Exactly.
Well, I thank you for your time. If there's anything else you would like to add or include in this segment, please feel free to do so now. And
I want to say thanks again for having me. I love, love, love this topic. Okay. And no, there's nothing much I can say to your listeners. Tap in. And that's about it, girl.
Well, thank you. It's been real, as usual, as always. You know how we vibe. Tell the people how to find you and your social media handles, all of that jazz.
Right. So you can follow me pretty much everywhere the Barbie Way Podcast is. So Instagram and Twitter is at the with two E's Barbie Way. And the link in the bio kind of directs you to anywhere you can listen to the podcast and the website as well. So yeah, follow me, hit me up.
Follow her. Okay, she fine too. So watch it on YouTube and you will see for yourself.
Period.
But thank you for your time as usual. We'll pick up this conversation in the chat, y'all. I'm telling y'all, we have the most lit chat.
Listen,
ever.
Lit is not even the fucking word, but
it's different. It's different.
It's a party in there.
It's a party. It's a whole vibe. But thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, I will check you next week. Thank you, Miss Cortney V.
No problem, girl.
Talk to you later.